Today I'm going to be revisiting the Royal Enfields, the 350 range. So we have got the 350 Meteor here and we've got the 350 Classic here. I have reviewed these bikes already. I am a fan of these 350s. They're both great bikes. But following my theme from the 411s and the 650s, I want to see which one I would pick. So if I was just choosing between these two bikes, which bike would I buy? Like I've done with the previous comparisons, I'm going to jump on one, give it a quick test ride around locally, come back and then jump straight on to the next one. So first bike I'm going to be taking out is going to be the 350 Classic. Again, I've reviewed this and the Meteor before, so if you're interested in the full review of those bikes, I'll put a link in the description. Today really is just going to be which one do I prefer out of these two bikes and which one I will buy. Don't forget, if you want to see more videos like this, more bike reviews, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Just riding out of the car park onto this old cobbled street that's outside into Moto, and you can feel how good the suspension is. It really does soak up all of the bumps really nicely. Now, this bike is brand spanking new, so I do have to take it nice and easy because it's got fresh rubber on it, and I don't want to take this brand spanking new bike sideways. I still don't understand why the Classic doesn't get the Royal Enfield sat-nav thing. It just has a nice little badge here with the Classic 350 on. It would have been a nice addition onto the Classic. It does have a lovely little rumble to it. I'm quite happy actually with that sound. Again, nothing too obnoxious or anything with it. It's just got a nice old school rumble. Seat height wise, I can just about flat foot this bike. I do like, it's a proper like old school exhaust. You just get in the odd little pop, not like a really loud one, but enough to make you kind of giggle every time it happens. Small things, but I like it. I feel like I'm sat on like a memory foam cushion or something. It's just really nice. I'm not judging today on the paint job because personally for me, I'm not a fan of this copper coloured bike that I'm on now. But you know, again, beauty of Royal Enfield is that you do have a hell of a lot of different colour schemes, so there would be a different colour that I would choose. But again, it's all down to personal preference, isn't it? This browny copper colour, not my bag, but it might be yours. So let's just summarise this bike. So for me, it's a good looking bike. Not sure about the colour, but other colours are available. It's got enough power for you to go and have a play on locally. It's got enough power for you to have a short motorway journey. It's a good bike at this price point. But it's nice, it's a comfortable bike. I haven't got really a lot to knock this bike for, because it is what it is. It's a 350cc motorbike that goes well, it's comfortable. I've had my little ride on this. I'm going to take the Meteor out now and see if that is any better, but it's got a lot to do because I can't fault this at all other than the colour, which is just a personal thing. So let's have a look at the Meteor. Bike number 2. Let's get out on the 350 Meteor. Let's see how this compares to the Classic, see if it rides any different. Essentially, these two are the same. They're very similar. Both got the same engine, same frame, etc. I think the only difference with this is the gear shifter. We've got the heel and toe shifter on this. I think the pegs are slightly further forward, but ultimately very similar bike. Very similar price. I think there's about £100 or £200 between these bikes. So again, you know what I'm like as far as your facts and figures goes. I'll throw them all on at the end, so if you are interested in height, width, horsepower, torque, all that stuff, all those details will be on at the end. I'll forget otherwise. What I'm noticing straight away is seat comfort exactly the same, no difference whatsoever, but looking over both bikes, the seats look pretty much identical. Now the big change with this, in seating position, you are still sat up straight, but the pegs are probably a couple of inches further forward, so you're in more of a cruiser type position. The speedo is different. I think I prefer the speedo on this one. And this does have a few extras on it as well that the Classic doesn't have. It also has a gear indicator as well, which I think is a nice little extra. You do have the heel toe shifter. Just takes a bit of getting used to. I know last time when I took this out, I couldn't really get on with it. Try a gear shift with the heel. Oh, look at that! How smooth was that? Who said you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Well, you can. Yeah, do you know what? I've just gone into third gear there. Fourth gear. Oh, now it does feel different, of course it does. It feels a bit weird if you're not used to that way of riding. It does take a little bit of time, but once you've spent the time doing it, it's actually quite nice. It goes through the gears all right. Colour wise with these, again, loads of different colours to choose from. My personal favourite with these is the Supernova. Now if you look at the Supernova, and I'll put links in the description to Intumoto's website, but the Supernova is like a really lovely blue colour. It's always a colour scheme for you because Royal Enfield do loads of different colours. Seating position on this is, I mean, it does feel different because you've got your feet just a touch forward, but I really like that because it's what I'm used to. My opinion of the heel toe gearbox has changed because I can use it now. I did the review on this, I couldn't get used to it, but because I've had a few goes on it now, I actually like it. Differences on this, apart from the odd little style tweaks like different headlights and stuff and different speedos, and your pegs are slightly further forward on this, and there's less chrome, but essentially everything else is very similar. So it all boils down again to personal preference. I don't think that one bike is better than the other, and I truly do believe that. I think that both bikes are very, very good bikes themselves, but it's just what you prefer. They're both as good performance wise, both as good comfort wise. They're both really plush seats. The seats are awesome. It's just boils down to what you prefer a bike to look like, and if you're into the heel and toe shifter. The seat height seems to be identical on this as well. I can just about flat foot it, and I'm 5'8", so you can do the maths there based on your own height. If you are slightly smaller, don't forget there's always one of these available. In fact, there's usually a couple of them available in Intumoto, a few different colours, and you can go down there and sit on one to see how it fits you. Essentially the same bike with some styling tweaks to it, and that's all it is. So it just boils down to personal preference. So let's park this bike up, we'll have a little chat, and I'll tell you which I prefer and why I prefer it. I'm back from riding both of these bikes. What's your choice, first of all? Because I think it's very difficult for me to pick a clear winner because they're both so similar. Now let's take the Classic 350. So the Classic 350 is really comfortable, but so is the Meteor 350, because they've got essentially same suspension, same seat, so you're going to get that comfort wise. Now for me, the Classic standout features, you've got loads of extra chrome bits with the chrome exhaust, etc. And you've got your chrome mirrors, you've got the chrome peak here, you've got all of that going on, and you've got your standard gear shifter, so just foot under and lift up. I like it. It's a great bike. Difficult. So then we've got the Meteor 350, essentially the same bike. We've got the same seat, same suspension, so the comfort is exactly the same, but the seating position is slightly different. So your foot pegs on this are slightly further forward, not by a lot, probably a couple of inches, but you do notice it when you jump from one bike to the other. This also has the heel and toe shifter. Takes a bit of getting used to, but I have ridden this bike before. I've had a good ride of it today, and I've got used to it. And once you do get used to it, it's actually really nice, and it's a lot easier on the ankle as well. You're not rotating your ankle quite as much, so it makes it quite comfortable, to be honest, to do a gear change. Now also with this bike, we've got little to no chrome bits on. I think the only chrome bits that we've actually got on this, we've got a little cap here, and we've got a little bit going around the dials, but not a lot. So it would be a lot easier to manage this for me. You could give it a wash and it'd be fine, whereas you'd do some polishing on the other one. It all boils down to personal preference, and it really does with these two bikes, because they are very, very similar. This one is, I think, a couple of £100 more expensive, but you can see why, because you've got all the chrome bits, you've got the extra little touches that just make it a little bit more, and it's whether or not that is something that you're into. If you are, this will be a great bike for that. Okay, let me get that straight. But my choice is going to be the Meteor, and the reason I choose that is, for me, I'm lazy as shit. I don't want to spend hours and hours polishing. I know some people do. You can polish it in the garage and you like to look at it and stuff, and that's brilliant, because I do think this at the showroom looks awesome. I like the black look, I like the black exhaust, I like it, just, it's more manageable. I think you'd be happy with either bike. I've just explained my reasons for this one. I'm sure you've all got your own opinion on these bikes. There are, well, both of these apparently are really good sellers because of the price point. And you tell me in the comments, why did you pick the Classic? Why did you pick the Meteor? Tell me, because I'm interested to know. I'm cheap and I don't like to polish. So that's why I'm picking the Meteor. Anyway, for more videos like this, for more new bikes that are coming to market, in particular the Hunter, which I'm hoping is going to be landing in the showrooms in the next week or two. When that comes out, I will definitely be jumping on that bike, and I want you all to be there with me for that, because with a bit of luck, I'll be one of the first to ride it in the UK. So I'm going to get my review out on that very, very quickly as soon as it appears in the showroom. So you don't miss out, hit that subscribe button. The Hunter is going to be, it's going to be very close to these two because it's got the same 350 engine, however completely different style of bike. So hit the subscribe button and I'll catch you on the next one.